Hello, everybody. I'm Stone Freeman here from Your View Sports, and we're excited to check in with the Rhode Island Interscholastic League's Executive Director, Michael Lunney, today, part of what we normally do at the Interscholastic League, get kind of the state of the union, so to speak. So, Michael, welcome again. Looking forward to chatting with you about the change in seasons. We're going from winter to spring right now, but good to see you again.
Yeah, good to be with you too, Stone.
I know this is a busy time of year for you guys there at the Interscholastic League offices. The championship seasons are wrapping up for the winter sports. What's going on there? I know there's men's basketball, women's basketball, and then ice hockey still going on. What else is going on in the Interscholastic League Championship Series?
Yeah, we've had quite a few weeks of jam-packed events all over the state with our wrestling, swimming, indoor track, all kinds of things that have been finishing up. We just had our state swimming championships last weekend, and for the first time ever, we actually had an exhibition of our unified relay swim teams. So that was an exciting addition this year to our state championships for swim. As we sit here now, we're preparing for the Ryan Center this weekend with our Final Four boys and girls basketball state championships and our Frozen Four for the ice hockey, which is another new format that we're going to this year over at Schneider Arena for our ice hockey championships for both boys and girls. So, so we're through quite a bit of our winter events at this point, but there's still a little ways to go to finish off this winter season, and then right away we get right into our spring sports.
What goes into picking some of these venues? And I know this is a topic we've talked about a couple of times over our conversations, but to play in the Ryan Center, to play in Schneider Arena, these are some of the best facilities in New England, never mind the state. What goes into planning and getting access to those facilities to have these state championships played at?
Yeah, those conversations happen constantly. We're always kind of searching for venues like this to get our kids those opportunities to play in these big arenas and environments. It's always a thrill for them to be able to get to those places, but availability sometimes is hard. I do want to give a shout out to all of our colleges and universities in our state that work with us to provide those facilities. It's a lot of coordination in meetings and different things, and a lot of people working together to make those things happen. But we're always thrilled to get the kids on those stages.
Yeah, one of the most exciting parts about being inside the Ryan Center or Schneider Arena is the fans get excited, right? It's a different vibe. We live in an unfortunate state where everybody can travel into these environments and support their teams. But I do know that there's a spirit challenge that's away from the arenas that's also going on right now on social media. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the Spirit Challenge started actually during COVID in that really at the height of COVID, that spring athletic season where we actually had no high school sports for the whole spring season in 2020. Everybody was cooped up in their houses and isolated from each other. So we kind of got this idea to just have a very simple Spirit Challenge, which is really just a Twitter poll. We create a bracket. We split all of our member schools up into a March Madness bracket, and we have rounds of voting. So it's just an exciting thing that happened during that time when there were no high school sports. And Navigant Credit Union has been nice enough to sponsor that and keep it going. So we're right in the middle of that whole thing right now, and it's just a way to boost school spirit and show pride for your schools, and it's been a really popular initiative for us.
How long is the duration on that? Obviously, you said it's a bracket type format. So when will a winner be announced?
Yeah, it really, the whole thing lasts about a couple of weeks, and we have regions, and we just kind of release the bracket by regions and have the voting happen that way, and it just culminates into a final between two of our schools, and then we just encourage them to get the vote out on Twitter and show pride for their schools. So it's a 2-week long thing, but it happens all on social media, and it's been really popular for us.
Yeah, that's been something that I've seen on social media, and I know it's been getting a ton of interaction. So another great initiative for the Interscholastic League to make sure to check out there on your social media platforms. Another big thing going into this, from transitioning from winter to spring a little bit now, upcoming, the winter months will be behind us. Weather starts to break. I know there's a leadership academy that the Interscholastic League is going to be running on May 4th at Camp Fogarty in East Greenwich. Tell us a little bit about that. I know leadership is so important to you all in the RIIL offices. What went into planning this, and why is this important?
So this is an initiative and a relationship we have with the renowned Army National Guard and also iHeartMedia. And again, we want to go beyond just the games that the kids are playing, and we want to give kids leadership opportunities. We want them to learn about leadership and community service and citizenship and those kind of things. So we actually did one of these back in the fall over at Camp Fogarty, and this one is entitled, how to lead with confidence, character, and integrity. So they get to spend the day at Camp Fogarty. They hear some leadership lectures from the Army National Guard. They get out on the confidence course, and they do some team building type of things. They have great facilities there at Camp Fogarty. And we rotate the kids through some fitness things, some leadership things, some lectures. We end the day with a lunch, and then we just kind of get the kids back to school for their activities. So it's been a really popular thing. We like to have representation from all of our member schools there, and the hopes is that they can learn a little bit about leadership and then take those skills back to their teams and to their schools and communities and do some positive work.
How can student athletes find out about this? I know maybe it's going through their school's athletic directors, or is it going right through your offices? How can students get involved?
So it's a number of different ways. We're communicating directly with our principals, athletic directors, coaches. It's out on our social media. But any students that are interested, I would encourage them to just talk to their principal or athletic director to get signed up and be part of that program. So it should be a fun event again on May 4th.
That's another big part of kind of this whole operation, right, for the Interscholastic League, is keeping that chain of communication with ADs and principals. I know on social media you're always posting opportunities that, whether it's meetings with your offices and then principals and ADs. What are those relationships like? I'm interested to kind of see it from your perspective, kind of mixing in and mingling with so many different people that have so many different jobs for their respective schools.
Yeah, so we meet regularly with all of those groups, and matter of fact, next week we have our coaches interpretation meetings coming up for our spring sports. That's where they learn about their rule changes from the National Federation level, kind of get organized for their spring season. So all of our head coaches for the spring we meet with. That'll happen next week. We just had our spring athletic directors meeting. Again, explaining a lot of the initiatives and things that we're doing. And just getting them organized for each season, whether it comes with eligibility, coaches' education, scheduling. There's a number of different topics that we want to stay connected with them along the way, and it just makes the seasons go a little bit more easily for them, and keeps us connected to them and what their needs are.
Now, going into the spring, is there going to be anything that we should kind of be highlighting going into these next few months? Any changes, or is it kind of the status quo and just excited to get some warmer weather in the Ocean State?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is right now. I mean, we're just moving through that, and the spring season goes very, very quickly for us. And once the kids actually get outside and the teams start to play, the games and the events come very fast. And then obviously when it comes to prom season and graduations and trying to fit everything in at the end of the year is always a challenge for us. But if the weather cooperates, we're able to do it, and it gets a little more challenging if not. But so that's pretty much what's going on in the schools. And everybody kind of takes a quick breath in July, and then when the calendar turns to August, we're already looking at our fall sports season again. So just not a lot of dull moments around the office with our staff. And I want to give them a quick shout out too, that we're a pretty small staff, and we've had a number of events. The winter season, championship season, is very long, and we have multiple events at the same time, so our staff's kind of divided and a little bit running on fumes right now, but we're excited to get to the finish line.
Yeah, you guys do an excellent job, everybody in that office. So continue up the great work, Michael. And we again look forward to a successful finish to this winter sports season and then turning the page into the spring. So thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And always great to be with you, Stone. Thanks.
Thanks, Michael. That's the executive director of the Rhode Island Interscholastic League, Michael Lunney. It's our check-in as we go from the winter into the spring here on Your View. So be sure to follow us all throughout the season to find out everything you need to know about the Rhode Island Interscholastic League. I'm Stone Freeman for Your View Sports. Have a great day, everybody.